So, the Neepawa Chamber of Commerce hosts Business After Fives as an opportunity for our local business members to showcase what they do, the services they offer, and opportunities that are there for more community engagement. So a Business After Five includes a few different things. So the host company provides some refreshments. We'll do a bit of an overview. Sometimes it's a tour, sometimes it's just a talk to the people that gather. And then there's just an opportunity for networking between the business owners who show up for the event. And it typically runs from 5 till 7, but depending on what's happening in the business, they coordinate it with another event, such as at the Salvation Army, they invited their board, and so the board was there at 4 o'clock, and there was that opportunity for the board to also be a part of the Business After Five event.
Right. So is this generally, you put an invitation out to chamber members? Does it go to the public, or?
It's for chamber members to network with each other.
Wonderful.
So it's exclusive in that way to our, 75 or 80 chamber members. So that's the whole point of the event, is that it's an exclusive event for chamber members. It's one more benefit that the chamber has for its members.
So how often do these happen?
Well, if we discount,
in a perfect world,
if we discount COVID, I would like to see one held every 2 or 3 months. But as the interest in hosting a Business After Five increases, then we do have the capacity to do maybe one a month. Probably not in the summer and not December. So yeah.
But in the other seasons.
Absolutely, and it's all based on the willingness of a business to host. So there's an opportunity. So Neepawa Chamber and Neepawa Economic Development do a business survey every year. And one of the questions in the business survey is if you're interested in hosting a Business After Five or getting more information about a Business After Five. So that business survey is currently out. So, in the next couple of weeks, I'll be compiling that information, and I'll have a list of businesses that are going to be interested in hosting a Business After Five.
So this one, we are at the Salvation Army Thrift Store. Are there any other planned right now, or are you waiting for the survey to go out?
Yeah, I don't have any more right now, but I do have a couple of businesses who have approached me to host one, and in fact, just today, there's opportunity for more events. So it's also got to do with capacity for the chamber to do their part. So the chamber promotes the events out through their email and through social media. So we have to balance that with all the other things going on with the chamber.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome, thanks.
All right.
So back here is where we deal with the masses. That is dealing with, so on this side, we've kind of got it set up 2 ways. So on this side is food and extra food for food bank, and on this side is kind of thrift store. So we try to keep ourselves organized as much as possible, hence the C-cam that is out in our parking lot. Really, it gives us a little bit more breathing room for seasonal items. We can put, Christmas pack up out back there, or things that we're not going to use on a regular basis. This stuff is the stuff that comes in on a daily. So we put clothing on one side, boxes and household items kind of just in the middle, and we just kind of work through it as we need to. Kind of interesting. The stuff in behind you is considered recycle. So it's either been deemed not sellable, or it's something that's been on the racks too long. Okay. Typically our Hutterite colonies around will come and collect that, and then they repurpose it. So again, not much is going out into the landfill. Most of it is going out the door into somebody else's house to be repurposed or reused somehow, way or form. Yeah. Any questions? We get, as you can see, there's a lot of some things in the food bank. Like there's lots of soup. There's a lot of baked beans. There's a lot of pasta. But we also have some things, and the churches have been great at Lenten season. They've been collecting like personal items and cleaning supplies and things like that for us, because those are things that we're asked for all the time in our hampers, but we don't typically get. So yeah.
So what do you need then?
What do we need? Oh my goodness, pretty much canned meat. Yeah, canned meat is always a need. Canned vegetables beyond baked beans. No baked beans. It's a lot of baked beans, but any other canned vegetable would be appreciated. Yeah, proteins of any sort. Yeah.
One question I have, and I tend to do it personally, is give a donation, a cash donation, and I don't want to put the stores on the hook in town by asking the question, but are they able to give you some kind of break when you buy a bunch of stuff with your money?
Sometimes they do. It depends on what works in their world as
Yes.
well. We don't want to take away from their profit as well. They've been most stores are very generous with us. I also know how to shop a sale. So I know exactly where to find everything at the price that it's supposed to be at. I know that probably tomorrow morning I will go to Red Apple and buy canned meat because it is the cheapest place in town. Regardless of what Giant Tiger is selling it for on sale right now, it's cheaper always at Red Apple. There's some things that you just you just get to know who carries what and at what quantities, and who will be able to get the stuff in that you can. Yeah.
The other question I have is, what size of family units? Is it single people that have the greatest need? Is it families with a couple of children? It's a whole range.
Mixed bag. It really is a range. Yeah. I would say probably it's almost not quite a 50-50, but there is a large portion of single people on fixed incomes that we assist. And then there's a lot of families on fixed incomes that we assist. Mm-hmm. So probably most of our families are probably on social assistance of some sort. And most of our seniors that we're helping are on CPP or a GIS or, that sort of thing. A lot of disability claim, that sort of thing. People who can't work or unable to find work of some way, shape or form. Yeah.
And they have to prove to you, Amanda, that they're on some sort of government assistance or unable to afford?
No, not really. As a food bank, we don't do what we call a means test. So you don't qualify necessarily. Yes, you check off that yes you make too much or no you make too much. If you have a need for food, then come and ask and we will provide. I do, however, ask for household budgeting information. So I do ask for, how much are you making on a monthly basis? How much are your expenses? And that's mainly to provide other resources. Is there some way, shape, or form that we can, cut down some of your expenses? Or do you realize that you're spending that much on communications? Or, how can we get you, back on track with your hydro bill? Or, like those sorts of things. It's more, or do we just need to sit down and talk about how to create a better budget and how to talk about cash flowing in your household and things like that? And I think those are probably greater resources than people just saying, hey, than me saying, yes, you qualify, no, you don't.
Right.
At Christmas time, we do a little bit more of that where, because if we opened it up to anybody, we honestly would not be able to afford to fill that every application that we got in. So, Christmas time, it is a little bit more based on financial need. However, again, it's conversations, it's building relationships with people, and that sort of thing. If somebody is a dual income and they're just struggling, come. Don't feel that you don't qualify. You absolutely do, and we want to make sure that you're supported and your family's supported, and that all your services are confidential here.
Right.
And we will just support you as best as we can and try and find a plan, right? And try to support you in that plan.
And this new staff, that's their role?
That's part of their role. Yeah, absolutely. Is to work with them. And if they're not here or whatever, I'm still that person as well. So
No one gets turned away.
no, not at all. Not at all. Yeah. Any other questions on? Yeah.
And then I remember prior to COVID, there was some discussions about doing some like community cooking, like some kind of like community educational stuff. Is that? Did you have a chance to do any of that before things got shut down? And I guess what's the plan going forward?
Yeah.
Could you repeat the question? She was too far away.
Too far away to hear that one. What kind of community programming or community educational programs are in the plans? There definitely was some planning around that, and then we're hoping to get that back up and running. We just had like a little gardening workshop with Glenda McPhee last week, which was fantastic. We had about 7 people come out and kind of learn the little basics of gardening. We're looking at doing more kind of those informal come in, have either a coffee or a light meal or something like that, and build community and build capacity and learn some new skills around different topics, really. We had a great conversation with Ministerial, and that they may be coming and doing kind of more weekly stuff with us. We've had some interesting conversations with some nutritionists in town that, again, just on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, they're here once a month, and people will be able to have an informal chit chat about nutritional and dietary needs and things like that. So yes, we're hoping to build more and more on that, and we can do as much as we can within this building, but we are looking at as the community is growing and growing and growing and growing, how can we better serve that? And we're looking at what does that now mean for our community, our organization? Does that mean an expansion? Does that mean more programming? And we're hoping that people think so. See, it never stops here.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Here, I can take that. Thank you. And we're hoping that on May 18th, we're actually inviting all of our community to come out to Arts Forward to have input on what that looks like for our community, and how we as the Salvation Army can maybe meet that need or be a part of meeting that need. We don't have to meet every need, but if there are needs identified within the community, I think that's number one, is just identifying some of those needs, and we're happy to facilitate that. And then number two, seeing where we fit in and how our community views us as an organization, and how our community feels that we're able to maybe do other things as well. So yeah, we're hoping that people can can come out to that. We also have a survey that's also going live, and we hope that you guys can take part in that as well and share that as much. Just the more voices we can get, the better we can really, as a community, because it's not like proprietary information. We can share this information with the town, with other organizations.
Community foundation.
Exactly, right? That, hey, this is how we as an entire community can support our whole community, and if there's resources that we can partner off with, Arts Forward or Westlake or Immigration and Settlement Services, then let's work together. That's what building community is about. And so we're hoping that these are the beginnings of those conversations, especially at this point in time, right? Like we're at a crossroads, at an exciting crossroads, and an exciting turn for Neepawa, right? So yeah, it's exciting stuff. Yeah. We're hoping that maybe we can blast through the wall. And
Looking at it thinking, what's on the other side?
The respiratory clinic's on the other side. You guys were back there. Yeah, you're familiar with that space. There's a little bit of space back
They
there.
have someplace else to be.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, COVID's got to be gone by now, right? Yeah, exactly. So we're looking at doing some planning, and hopefully, of course, everything is at a cost, right? And so how does that look?
How does your fund?
What's our funding?
Yeah.
The thrift store is our main source of funding. So 85% of our funds come from the thrift store. In order to really move and expand to, like, say, a resource center or a family center or a family resource center, I think that we probably have to realize another about $150,000 a year. How that looks is
So if
interesting.
you were to expand to that, does that open you guys up for different funding?
Potentially, yeah,
But it's
potentially.
to have the money first to expand to it.
It's it's kind of a
Yeah.
catch-22, right? Like, you know,
Well,
who
you
do we
have to
partner?
hire staff, right? That's
Yeah.
the key, and you don't want to do that on like a 1 year
No.
commitment of
No.
funding.
No, you need really good people in place, and you need to have good commitment, right? Yeah. So you know what? Like, hi, I've got like a little term position. Good luck. You know, like, it was hard enough with my little part-time position to find somebody.
Right.
So yeah, it's one of those things where I'd love, like, really you would need probably 2 more full-time people back there, and then again an army of volunteers that could help us with whether that's expanding how the food bank runs or doing programming or all that kind of stuff. So
Because the more people in the building, then the more demand on all your other services.
absolutely.
But you've created a hub here.
Yeah.
And so to have that family service piece
Yeah.
here makes sense, I think.
I think it really does. And I think it's something that really is missing in our community as a place that, like, a one-stop shop. Like, where do I go to get this or that or whatever? And you know, and even having a space where, say, I don't know, addictions can foundation can come in and have an office that they can meet clients with, or having, you know, like mental health. You know, whether they have a space, say like mood disorders, they can, you know, have a meeting room where they can use once a month or once a week or something like that, where we can really build a place where people can come and meet and be, and, you know, a place where you can kind of have a coffee and your kids can kind of play in the corner and you can have a chat with another adult, right?
Well, and information, right?
And
You need
information.
that one spot where information
Yeah.
can be, like, whatever the question is.
Yeah, and we can direct you, right?
Right.
Like, or we will find out where we can find that source for you, right? We don't have to have all the answers and we don't have to have all the programming, but it's really important, I think, in any community that we have an anchor spot for people to go. And it just, I feel that that's us, and I feel that we have the capability of doing that, and I feel this building really works well for that.
Well, and you've got Westlake here now, and settlement services here, like, it's creating itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so for us to expand and really expand our community family services, which is the reason we're here.
Right.
We're not here just to have a thrift store. We're really here to serve the community. And if we can do that in a bigger way, and that was the whole idea of the move, was for us to create more revenue so we can create more programming, so we can support more people within our community. So yeah, so we're at another possibility of another another expansion, but we really want to know if the community supports us in that as well.
And kudos to you guys for doing what you've done to this point and still having that vision to keep going with it. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, well, you know, there's always another thing to do in my brain. Like, it never stops. Seriously, potential, right? Like, there's always potential for so much more, and our community is so ripe for that. It's we're such a there's such big things, like, and I, you know, like, and I don't even know what Marilyn's working on, but I can tell, like, there's more coming, right? And so I think we at that foundation side, like we really need to make sure that the foundations are in place it's for the growth that will happen, because it's happening. And so we just need to make sure that that we don't get to a point where we see homeless people on the street, that there is enough housing within our community, that we have places for people to go if they're in a domestic situation, right? Like, and all of these things are happening currently, and we don't have the resources for them. We send them out of our community. So if you're having, you know, if you are homeless in Neepawa, I'm sorry, we don't have anywhere for you to go. You know, you might have a couple of nights at a hotel, or you might find somebody on the street that'll give you a room or something like that, but we don't have a sheltering program. And hopefully we never have to ever have a sheltering program, but we have had, you know, house fires and things like that, where do people go? Well, there's nowhere for them to go. So is there any transitional housing out there that we can think of? Is there, you know, if you're in a domestic situation, how do you flee if you don't have access to a vehicle, right? How do you get out of Brandon if you don't have, how do you get to Brandon if you don't have access to a vehicle? You know, so how, you know, we need those types of supports, I think, more and more in our community. And as much as we don't want to face those things, I think a healthy community is having those types of supports within our community.
Yeah.
We are now in the
Food bank.
more the distribution area.
Yeah, not our warehouse, but our actual food bank. So this is where we'll pack hampers from.
Okay.
Currently, before pandemic, we would actually have clients come in and they would shop and take what they, needed. We kind of do that still. We have an online form that they can fill out. And then it just, I can print it off, and then this becomes their shopping list. I pack their hamper based on the size of their family, and then weigh it out and all that kind of stuff so we can keep our stats. And then they come at their pickup time, and away they go with it.
And I see they're sorting and.
Yes, that's our processing room. We've got all sorts of, all the goodies that come in through the back door. All get processed, priced, and out the door.
Now, I know there's a lot of volunteers here. How many volunteers and how many people who are paid staff?
Sure, we have, actually we've got about 6 paid staff, or 7 paid staff. We have 2 full-time, and 3 part-time and 3 casual. We have about 16 regular volunteers that come pretty much all the time, or weekly or monthly to the thrift store and help us either in the thrift store or in the food bank.
Yeah.
And then we have probably 60 plus, 40 to 60 individuals that help us on a seasonal basis, whether that's, you know, ringing bells for kettles, packing hampers at Christmas time, doing all those other extra things. Anytime we have a big event or whatever and we just need some extra hands, people are there.
And you have a board.
Yes.
And what do we call the board? It's
Our community council, yeah.
Community council.
Yeah, we currently have 6 members on our community council. We're always looking for more people. So if you're interested, if there's anybody out there that is interested in sitting around and talking about, you know, the vision of where we're going and the things that we can do within our community and how we can help people within our community, just get in contact with me. And ask some questions about
What's your phone number?
Yeah, so you can contact me directly at 431-759-7106 or at the store here at 204-476-5869.
And I'll get those numbers written down so we can stream that across the bottom. Amanda, I know you came to the community, I believe, as an economic development officer a few years ago.
Like 17, yeah.
We won't talk about
A
that.
long time ago.
And how long have you been with
The Salvation Army, almost 10 years now.
Almost
yeah,
10
I'm coming
years.
up on my 10th year.
So when you move, you're in effect you're still part of economic development.
Absolutely. This is the part of economic development that sings to my heart. It's really community development and community support and you know, and retail management and all the things
That you have proven yourself in.
that I definitely enjoy. Absolutely.
Really appreciate you opening up the store to the Neepawa Area Chamber of Commerce after 4 event, and we'll probably catch you at the night. We'll probably try and record the night that you're going to have the community.
Yeah, our community consultation
Community
night.
consultation. I like that better than what did they used to call them? Brainstorming.
Oh yes.
Same thing, but it's nice to get rid of that name. So when is that consultation?
So that consultation is May 18th from 7 to 9 at Arts Forward. If you are planning on coming or want more information, please give me a phone call. We'd love to know kind of our numbers prior to.
Ahead of, yes.
That would be great. RSVP is not mandatory, but it would be appreciated.
Yes, because if you're going to have juice and cookies,
Yeah.
it's kind of nice to
It's
know.
kind of nice to know how many cookies I need, or that I don't have to have too many afterwards. So
Well, if you don't open them,
that's right.
they
Fair
go in
enough.
the food bank. No, we appreciate what you and all your volunteers and staff are doing. Shucks, there's lots of us shop here to check for things,
Yes.
and and it's really appreciated, and it's such a good work. And the extent of your reach, I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Like we think Neepawa, but it's Neepawa area.
It is definitely Neepawa area.
But your catchment is?
Pretty much every surrounding RM. So the RM of Rosedale, we go all the way up to McCurry, Glenella, Lansdowne, Westlake, Gladstone, North Cypress, Langford, and of course the town of Neepawa.
Yeah. So, large catchment area.
Yeah, very large.
So I'll close this off now. It's Chris Waddell with NACTV, and it is April 19th, and we're at the Salvation Army Thrift Store.